Is this the end of ARMY's hopes? As the whole world holds its breath waiting for the epic reunion of BTS, a shocking statement from Jungkook has instead cast everything in doubt.
¿No reunión?
Then, what about Taehyung's long-awaited return? Behind their ever-glowing smiles on screen, is there a wound that hasn't healed? And what caused a stir even more? Why did Jungkook suddenly speak up after months of silence? This is the story that has never been openly revealed to the public. This is where all the puzzles begin to unravel. Is it true that there will no longer be the togetherness as before? Or is someone deliberately hiding the truth from the world's eyes? Since the announcement of BTS's temporary hiatus in 2022, millions of fans around the world have been waiting for the moment when the 7 members who shook the global music scene would reunite. But time keeps ticking. One by one, the members entered military service. Group activities drastically declined. Many speculations arose about BTS's future. But among all the rumors, one main question continued to echo. When will they come back together, and will it truly happen? But that question turned into anxiety after Jungkook, in a newly released exclusive interview, finally broke the silence that had been a veil of speculation. In an emotional atmosphere, Jungkook expressed that not everything will go back to how it was. This sentence immediately caused an uproar. Those words weren't spoken lightly. There was a long pause before he said it, as if holding something heavy in his chest. Almost the same time, news of Taehyung's return from military leave added fuel to the fire. A video of Taehyung seen at the airport with a serious face, without his usual smile, sparked huge questions. Taehyung's return should have been a joyous moment for ARMY. But why did he return quietly, without an official welcome, without a public statement, and without mentioning anything about a reunion? What made things even more confusing, HYBE chose to stay silent.
No clarification. No announcements.
Yet usually, every BTS member's step is accompanied by extraordinary transparency to the public. Back to Jungkook. In the online interview, Jungkook's face looked tired but honest. He didn't speak in the capacity of BTS's official spokesperson. He spoke as a wounded human being. With a slightly trembling voice, he said, "We've all changed. We're all going through different processes. We can't always return to the past, even when we want to." Is this a sign that BTS may never come back together as a full group again? Or is this merely a depiction of the emotional dynamics they're currently experiencing? Interestingly, though he didn't directly mention any breakup, Jungkook slipped in a piercing sentence. Taehyung knows, and we once talked, but not everyone is ready to hear the truth. This sentence sparked new speculation that something had happened between Jungkook and Taehyung. Their relationship is known to be close, even too close in the eyes of some fans. But now, the two seem to be keeping their distance. Taehyung, who is usually expressive, instead returned in silence. No posts, no live broadcasts, not even a mention of the other BTS members. ARMY worldwide began to speculate. Is there internal conflict? Did something happen during their military service? Various internal sources who refused to be named revealed that tensions within BTS started to arise around mid-2023. This wasn't about personal dislike, but differences in vision and priorities. Jungkook was reportedly becoming more focused on building an international solo career, while Taehyung preferred the path of art and acting. Suga and RM had more experimental musical visions. Jimin and Jeon were still struggling to balance public expectations and private life, but no one expected Jungkook to speak so truthfully. The world was stunned. ARMY panicked. Is this a sign that BTS will never be the same again? Became a trending topic in several countries. HYBE, up to now, has not issued any official statement regarding Jungkook's remarks. Even when directly asked by South Korean media, they only responded, "We are currently focusing on supporting the members' individual activities." This further strengthens the suspicion that something really did happen. Jungkook's decision to speak alone, without being accompanied by management or other members, shows there is a restlessness within him. He wanted to express something that may have long been locked tight by the system. Back to Taehyung. His return to public life was not the return of a regular K-pop star. He came back with a face full of burden. Cameras caught the sharp look in his eyes, as if sending a message that he was going through something very heavy. Some fans noticed that Taehyung wasn't even wearing the BTS friendship ring he usually wore. Did I ask this just a coincidence? Or was there a symbol he intentionally wanted to convey? Meanwhile, BTS's social media accounts remain active. But there's no post uniting them as a group. Each one still walks alone, in silence. Even V, Taehyung, who is usually active on Instagram with his distinctive artistic style, has completely left no trace. The public begins to ask, was Jungkook's statement actually a warning of a big decision? Is the reunion long awaited just going to become a myth? K-pop industry experts began commenting. Most say BTS might reunite formally, but not in the same format as before. They may still perform on one stage, but with a different formation, role, and atmosphere. No longer as energetic teenage boy band, but as mature artists with their own paths. And while all of this happens, ARMY is the most heartbroken. They aren't just losing their idols, but losing the sense of security from a togetherness they believed to be eternal. Many fans cried, made tribute videos, and even held prayer circles so the members could get through this hard time. Some international fans even created a petition demanding HYBE be more transparent about the real condition. They feel they deserve to know what's going on. We're not just consumers. We are BTS family, wrote one fan in their viral petition. But amidst all the chaos and mystery, one thing is certain. The relationship between Jungkook and Taehyung is at a critical point. Too many codes, too many indirect messages. And until one of them speaks again, the world can only guess. Jungkook has broken the silence. However, behind all the commotion triggered by Jungkook's statement and the quiet return of Taehyung, it must be firmly emphasized that the news about the absence of a BTS reunion, internal conflict, and rifts between Jungkook and Taehyung is not true and has no official basis. Many narratives circulating on social media are purely based on assumptions, emotional fan interpretations, or even speculation without confirmation from those involved. Jungkook did deliver an emotional comment in one of his private interview sessions, but the context of those sentences is often cut and exaggerated by media to create viral effects. The sentence, "Not everything can return to how it used to be," which triggered the rumors, was in fact a personal reflection by Jungkook about time, growth, and each member's journey, not an announcement that BTS would never reunite. Likewise, Taehyung's return from his military service, which appeared calm and without much publicity, is not an indication of internal issues. The lack of a grand welcome or press conference is not unusual, as many idols choose to return to public life gradually after military duty. Taehyung's silence on social media is more about his personal preferences and naturally more private communication style compared to other members. This cannot automatically be used as proof of broken relationships. It must also be emphasized that as of this writing, HYBE, BTS's official agency, has never issued any statement about internal conflict, cancellation of a reunion, or group disbandment. On the contrary, the agency continues to show support for the members' individual activities while also stating that BTS will resume group activities after all members complete their military duties. Private meetings between members still happen, even though they're not always shown to the public. Many moments are not captured by the media, and that doesn't mean they don't interact. It's important for the public to understand that silence doesn't always mean conflict. In many cases, it's a form of recovery, rest, and careful planning for the future. Another strong indicator that there is no conflict is the small yet meaningful interactions still happening between the members on their personal platforms. Jungkook and Taehyung still follow each other, still like each other's posts, and have been seen attending internal events together. These proofs, though not always viral, strongly indicate that their relationship remains harmonious. As a group that has been together for over a decade, BTS certainly goes through many dynamics and changes. But these changes don't always lead to separation. They often lead to maturity. All members have stated in many interviews that they have a strong commitment to reunite as a group after military service. Even in their temporary farewell video before enlistment, they promise to come back and prepare something bigger for ARMY. Furthermore, ARMY themselves need to be a smart community in responding to viral and unverified information. Many small media outlets or fan accounts deliberately twist narratives for engagement, clicks, and interactions. Unfortunately, many fans get carried away emotionally and spread information without checking its accuracy. It's also important to realize that the relationship between BTS members is more than just co-workers. They've grown up together since they were teenagers, shared ups and downs, and formed an emotional bond that runs deep. Conflict is natural in over 10 years of companionship, but it doesn't mean it destroys everything. In fact, they've repeatedly shown that through communication and empathy, any issue can be overcome. Jungkook wasn't signaling a farewell. He was showing that they're all evolving as individuals and as human beings. Taehyung wasn't pulling away. He was returning, perhaps with more maturity and a new perspective. And the BTS reunion is not a myth. It's just a matter of time. For ARMY, this news should be a reminder not to easily believe emotionally charged and clickbait narratives. While such articles can be entertaining and trigger curiosity, there must be a line between speculation and fact. Loving BTS also means protecting their reputation, understanding the process they're going through, and patiently waiting for the big moment that truly deserves to be celebrated together. As a closing note, let's remember the words once spoken by RM. Time will pass, but BTS will remain. We will come back, and that's a promise. With that promise, we believe. With that hope, we wait. And with that love, BTS and ARMY will always return together.